Just be here from going back to a new Gravity Falls episode review. And if you're on this last one, go and check it out. And we're back with the next two episodes, or I should say, the first two episodes of season 2 of Gravity Falls. And I can just say, this is a very, very cool beginning, I would definitely say, to a new season. And yeah, it starts with these lights that is going off in the mystery sack. And yep, it is Grunkle Stan, which what we saw him doing at the end of the last season. With this whole mysterious portal-like thing project that he is doing. And yeah, like, he definitely has been knowing this for a long time. And yeah, it's like, there's nobody that can actually stop me from doing all this. And yeah, we see all these lights going across different places. Even little Gideon as well, still in prison. And then we see these government agents that actually pick up the signal. And yeah, Grunkle Stan wakes up and it's time for him to open the mystery sack. And yeah, it's the grand reopening of the mystery sack after them defeating little Gideon, right, and reclaiming the mystery sack. And of course, giving Dipper and Mabel the credit as well. And yeah, they're gonna have a party tonight. And we see this drawing that Mabel has made. And Wendy coming in on getting everybody to get their tickets and stuff. And of course, Dipper is asking his Grunkle Stan about the whole book, which he just gives it to him. Like, wow. But no, it's actually shown that he actually reprinted, made a copy of the book. So he still has all the books. He just made a copy to give to Dipper. And Waddles sees him and he's like, you saw nothing. And yeah, Dipper is still very intrigued about the whole mysteries of Gravity Falls. And of course, most of the pages that are empty, which of course, Mabel having Waddles having a detective hat, which is very cute. And then, yeah, Seuss tells Grunkle Stan about these government agents that are coming. Yeah, U.S. government that has come. And of course, Grunkle Stan tells everybody to leave the mystery sack. Which, yeah, there is, again, something is very up. And we have seen what he is up to. And yeah, the agents, government agents come. And apparently they are very intrigued that Dipper actually knows something about, you know, with everything that is going on. And even gives him a card as well. Which, of course, his Grunkle Stan is telling him that he's just, you know, he's just got all these different imaginations. And giving these hats and stuff, which is pretty funny, to the agents, and these stickers. Which then, Grunkle Stan takes the card to dispose of it. And, yeah, of course, Mabel is like, can you just do something without worrying about the whole book, about this whole mysteries? Because they're having a... Which, yeah, I can definitely understand with that, with Mabel. And yeah, they're all getting set up for the party. And Mabel just sang all these songs. And, yeah, Wendy with these cool glow-in-the-dark posters, though. But, of course, Dipper is still like, he finally found some people that can actually believe him. But Wendy is like, just between you and me, and just don't want to get in trouble on saying this, and probably shouldn't say this, but that Grunkle Stan has some very weird things in his room. Which, yeah, Seuss is like, I can't wait to destroy these, which he stacks up. Which then, Mabel's friends come to the party, and yeah, this girl takes a picture of this guy with his shirt and says, I'm not going to send it, but then sends it. And yeah, everybody paying, and of course, Grunkle Stan is still keeping his eye out on those agents. And then he sees that Wendy and Dipper are not there. Which, of course, yeah, he's very suspicious about that. And then we see Stan's room, or the door. Do not disturb. That means you, with Dipper on it. And, yeah, he goes in and is like, what are you hiding? And where's the card he's trying to find? Looking through all these different things. And he eventually finds the card, which he then calls the agents. But then, of course, he gets in trouble. And saying about, just getting upset with Dipper. And you can't help but understand, though. That's all I can just say. You can't help but understand. Because, again, whatever is going on, these things that's going on with Gravity in Gravity Falls, that he doesn't want the kids to be involved in, him just saying of how dangerous it is, how dangerous we see that it is. Of course, he doesn't want to put his nephew and niece in harm's way, right? He doesn't want to put them in harm's way if anything happened. And of course tells him that after a party he's grounded. And then of course he goes back to that mysterious area. And of course the cops are there. And yeah, of course they're wanting to join the party, which of course Mabel makes them join. And yeah, Dipper goes to those agents and shows the book, which they believe that his Grunkle Stan was right about his whole imaginations. Because they don't believe any of that stuff is real. But then he actually says this spell. It causes a crack in the ground and causes, the undead. Which Mabel was warning Dipper about. And he summons the undead. Zombies that come out. And not just one, but loads of zombies. And the agents get dragged away. Which, Dipper is like, this is all my fault. What have I done? And everybody feels that something is not right, which everybody is leaving. And, of course, Mabel was right, saying how she was right of how Dipper shouldn't have, messed with the undead, or with that book for today. And and then Seuss gets eaten and turns into a zombie. And, they take the golf cart out, and seems like they're have nowhere else to go, which they're wondering where their Grunkle Stan is. And of course, he's just still messing around with that contraption. And just still going with Dipper. But of course, he's just doing it for their own good, though. Because again, this is serious stuff that he's dealing with. And then, Mabel with that karaoke machine managed to take out a zombie. And they managed to bar the doors, but they end up coming in. And, Zeus helping them. And, of course, Dipper just feeling so bad about all this, of how it's his fault. Which then he gets almost taken by a zombie. But then, Grunkle Stan comes and saves them, hitting them with bats, the zombies, and even punching them with brass knuckles. And then, he's saying that he has always known that something has been going on in Gravity Falls. And he's been lying this whole time. But then they actually see that, there's actually more writing when it comes to when the book starts glowing. And, then see the whole weakness of the zombies. Which, they have to do this karaoke song in order to defeat the zombies. Which, of course, when they have to all start singing, and, the zombies start getting defeated, and, a zombie almost gets Dipper, but then uses this confetti launcher. And, Dipper just still feeling that this was all his fault. But, again, Grunkle Stan, I don't care if you do hold on to that, copy of the book. Just don't do anything reckless or do any of this dangerous stuff, because this is serious business. I can completely understand But then, of course, Dipper's like, I I understand, but as long as you're not hiding any other secrets, which yeah, he is hiding a big secret. That whole contraption, that whole mysterious thing that he's been fiddling with, right? And of course, he's got his fingers crossed behind his back. Even Dipper does as well. And then, of course, yeah, Zeus is still a zombie, which they found a way to cure him. And then we see at the end that the agents are alive, the government agents, and they're having to go and figure out some way to actually tell someone about this. Which, yeah, things are getting very, very good at the beginning. I can just. And then we go to the next episode, and it's another really good one. And it starts with the zombie movie that Dipper and Wendy are watching. And yeah, especially considering the last episode that they actually fought a zombie, right? And yeah, of course, Wendy is saying of how just got more text from Robbie, even though she's over him, and showing this whole text that he made, and yeah, just playing, saying, "No, this is my boyfriend," just having this stuffed animal, and then yeah, Dipper still is unsure exactly of how to tell Wendy of his feelings to her. And then, yeah, freaking out when he realizes that he's laying on her bra. And then, yeah, we see Grunkle Stan fixing the mystery sack just from the whole zombie crisis from the last episode. And even giving money to this guy. And Dipper is wanting to figure out of who actually wrote this book, and showing the author that could actually still be around, and wanting to find the clues, which yeah, has Mabel and Seuss to come and help, and even Wendy as well. And yeah, her talking about her dad, which is quite funny, and Mabel still believing that Dipper, still has a thing for Wendy. And then they see this branch that looks awfully like a lever. And yeah, Wendy uses her belt to get up there and uses the axe to push the lever. And it opens this secret passage. Which, yeah, they go in and they see this shelter. And yeah, we see these leeches, what it looks like, crawling all over Mabel. If those are leeches, then yeah, that is not good. And then we see all these supplies for like 2045, 2050, 2055, like so on and so forth, and showing all these different weapons. But Seuss is just more interested in this whole Pez-like dispenser. And then finds this food that apparently has been opened recently, and find this vault-looking door with this weird room, which, yeah, causes this trap to happen. And, yeah, they're trying to push the blocks, but nothing's working, which then they figure out they have to press certain blocks, like a puzzle, and they do so, and opens this door, which Mabel gets the jacket for Dipper, and sees the note as well, which of course shows Dipper, and of course, yeah, he wants her not to say anything about this and just completely forget about it. And that face that she has too, which is quite funny, and even pushes him inside a closet with Wendy, and is refusing to open a door until he confesses. And yeah, this water comes down, and then these smoke or steam things come out too. And then this other door opens to this, looks like a laboratory. And these holes that something has been digging around, which of course they're trying to get Mabel to open a door, but of course she's still refusing until the Dipper confesses, and she's like, just say whatever you have to say for us to get out. And yeah, they try to go a different way. And we see this very weird creature, which then something is actually fighting the creature. And it's actually the actual author, the actual creator of the book, and selling this safe sifter experiment that broke out. And yeah, we see this briefcase that, yeah, Seuss is just saying if it looks better with this lab coat. And then they see this chamber which they can unfreeze and freeze. And then experiment 210, the safe sifter, become too dangerous. And then, yeah, they actually realize that Dipper was actually not wrong, that there is an actual monster. And, yeah, so's the author of the book. And, yeah, Maple having, like, she's prepared for everything, I feel like. And Wendy is actually terrified when seeing this can, because apparently we see this can, and yeah, they with the actual author on it, and yeah, they're like, oh, we're just gonna get going, so we could just take the book, and yeah, he is not the actual author. He is that safe sifter creature, and growing these legs and showing its true form. And yeah, they get the book, and they end up leaving and chasing after them. And then they bump into Mabel and Seuss, and see that Wendy is bleeding. But then the safe sifter is trying to find them, and growing into this other form, which then see Mabel and Dipper, and safe sifting into Mabel and Dipper, and even maybe both. And yeah, that is creepy, I would say. That whole him turning to both Mabel and Dipper, like, that is terrifying, I would say. And yeah, they try to spray it with some water, and then try to get the book when the tongue grabs it, which Wendy then gets sprays as well. And yeah, after they wake up, they realize that, yeah, this is all Dipper's fault about what happened to Wendy, which apparently that wasn't Wendy. That was the safe sifter. And then, yeah, the safe sifter and Wendy is still fighting, and they find the real one, the safe sifter, and end up freezing it as well, which when it's starting to freeze, it then tells Dipper that he's gonna face much danger. And then yeah, they start to go and get some breakfast, which, yeah, Dipper is just apologizing of what all happened back there. Which, of course, she's like, I knew that you had a crush on me. Just from all the loud whispering. But, of course, she did say that I am a bit too old for you. I mean, that is true, right? They are a bit too old, young and old to be dating each other, right? So, yeah, I can definitely understand that. But, of course, they're still friends, obviously. That's all. Because, again, she even admits that, Dipper coming to Gravity Falls was one of the greatest things that came into her life. Because everything's been not so good before Dipper showed up. So, yeah, really great to see that. And, of course, Mabel was wondering how it all went. Which, of course, yeah, he just explains everything to Mabel. And, yeah, Seuss as well just sits down. And so's does the briefcase as well. But apparently it's an old laptop. Or old computer. Which Seuss is like, maybe I can try to fix it. Which that could be one of their next clues. And then, yeah, Mabel and Dipper and Wendy are watching some movies, and we see all these different funny titles, I would just say, which are quite funny, I would definitely say for sure. But yeah, a really amazing beginning when it comes to Season 2. I am very looking forward to seeing what else this season has. But yeah, I'd like to know what you think.